Ripple XRP bank partners confirmed, folks. This is the one that many people have been waiting for. They've been needing to see the official documentation, even though we've been connecting some dots. We've been seeing them mentioned here and there. The documentation I'm about to show you in this video here today will confirm that Ripple is not just working with a couple banks. It's not just a couple conversations, but these banks are identified in their documentation for the Ripple payments program. You're not going to want to miss this update. It confirms everything that we've been talking about in regards to XRP and our thesis for Ripple. Let's get started here by taking a look at these markets. And I just want to say real quick, everything is at zachrector.com. If you want to get hooked up, we got exchanges, wallets, precious metals. If you want to sign up for a one-on-one session with me, if you want to join our private community, it's all there, zachrector.com. Let's get into the video. Here is Bitcoin back down today below 63,000 after running up to about 65,000 over the weekend. We have a rough start to the week with a red candle for Bitcoin. Same thing for Ethereum below 2,700. Same thing for XRP below 59 cents. If you were looking to get a little deal on XRP, well, here you go. We were worried that we were going to break out and this might be our moment. Well, no. Rejection back down. It's at 58.9, 589 for you. How about that? Now we watched it. We got tankers getting blown up. And it's interesting. I got folks in the comments video of the most recent short that I just shared on TikTok, on Twitter, and I posted it here on YouTube in a short about the oil tankers getting blown up. 12 oil tankers on the border with Iran and Iraq. And everybody in the comments is saying nobody's reporting on this. Nobody in the mainstream news, nobody's reporting on this. And I also followed it up. This was an attack that took place on Friday as well, with the Houthis blowing up a Greek oil tanker as well. So that would be 13 oil tankers in the past 72 hours that have been blown up. What did this do to oil? Well, you can probably take a guess. Here's your chart for oil back above $77. And this is just the CFDs on WTI crude oil. That's just one metric. Other metrics will show you oil actually pushing up towards $80 per barrel. Gold, how's it reacting? Well, closing above 2,500 for another day. So we did get cleaned out on Thursday. We closed below 2,500, but then quickly bounced back up on Friday, closing above 2,500 and starting off the week with another green day. Now, as I warned about, here was that all-time high coming in for the Dow Jones. Everybody reacting positively to Daddy Powell's going to take it easy on us, going to cut rates. Everything's going to be A-okay. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. It's fall time. Give me that pumpkin spice latte. And my Dow Jones went up to a new all-time high. That's great. But as I warned about in my video earlier, there's still a war going on. They're blowing up tankers. You know, we've seen a most recent offensive in Ukraine, Russia. The war is not over. Everything is not okay. In the data, actually, if you look at the details, the devil's always lying there. And sure enough, when you look at it, it is not pretty, but front facing for the masses. We can spoon feed them that their 401ks are going to be okay. The stock market's back at an all-time high. Dow Jones doing exactly what I warned about over a week and a half ago in our most recent Discord weekly call that we have every single Saturday. Someone asked me, good friend Jeremy, he asked, what's coming next for the markets? I said, watch for the rally to potentially new all-time highs, and it's a triple top formation for the Dow Jones. It's a double top formation for the NASDAQ 100. We're still a ways off. We got pretty close. For the S&P 500, we got even closer to that all-time high, but we did have a red day for both the NASDAQ and the S&P. Dow Jones up to a new all-time high today. DXY, green candle, hanging out there right at 100. We'll be watching it closely. Let's get into the update, folks. Russia to begin trials of crypto payments launching in September. So it begins. Now, I wanted to talk about this one as well too. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov. This is, and by the way, I should make a point. Remember the Central Bank of Russia, Russia's oldest bank, what they had to say about XRP, Ripple's network, being the basis for a new financial system. We'll wait to see how they roll out with their new project, but we know what they think about Ripple XRP, along with many other BRICS nations, by the way. If you want more of that content, just go to my playlist here on YouTube titled BRICS Loves XRP, and I'll show you how many BRICS nations are using XRP live now. Now, platform here, Telegram, CEO Pavel Durov, arrested in France, charged with, I think, a dozen charges. But this opens up an interesting precedent Because if founders and creators of technologies, right, can be charged for what their users do with that platform and with that technology, I mean, this opens up. This is like the gun manufacturers being charged when somebody goes and does something bad with their gun, right? I mean, this is a slippery slope. Rowrider comments here, a founder getting charged for users doing illegal activity on their platform. This is very bad news for every crypto exchange and industry insider. And this brings me to the point here that I want to say, look at the rest of the crypto space and the amount of fraud and bad stuff taking place. I'm not saying that this is right or that this should go forward as far as the CEO of Telegram. I'm just saying this opens up a very, very interesting precedent. And I'm just glad that we're sleeping peacefully over here in the XRP community because, yeah, there's some scam tokens. Yeah, there's some crap that's been put on the XRP ledger. But they just actually introduced a new amendment today, which is called the Deep Freeze Amendment, XLS 77D. And this is part of coming into compliance and being able to find bad actors and shut them down. And that's what I love about what Ripple is doing, but also with the rest of the XRP Ledger validators, it's not just Ripple that can determine, oh, this is a bad actor and shut them down. It has to be done in a decentralized way through an 80% consensus where all of the validators deem, okay, this is a bad actor. We're going to issue a deep freeze on their account. This is all part of coming into compliance and bringing in institutions into networks where we can still follow the laws. We'll be continuing to watch this one with the Telegram CEO. Very interesting case. Now, Ripple just partnered up here and committed $10 million to Open Eden, and this is a platform that's tokenizing treasuries on other blockchains as well. But we got to note here, they just crossed over 100 million in total value lockup for their tokenized US Treasury bills. Only last month, they were celebrating 75 million, and so the pace at which they are accelerating tokenized Treasury bills is massive. Now, they talk about how great their platform is, and then we scroll on down here. We previously announced securing an allocation from the Arbitrum's DAO Treasury and Ripple's decision to allocate 10 million to Open Eden's T-bill tokens on the XRP ledger. So this is going to be 10 million tokenized on the XRP ledger, but this platform just crossed the $100 million milestone. This is progress, not just for the XRP ledger, but for the entire industry. Love to see it. Ripple choosing partners that are already making serious moves in the space. Love to see it. And this is an allocation of capital by Ripple, I think, that is just once again lighting that fire for adoption of the XRP ledger. And this is what I like to see. I'd much rather see Ripple working with an institutional platform like this versus just throwing out millions of dollars willy-nilly to any builder or dev or crypto bro that shows up on the XRP ledger and says, hey Ripple, choose me. I made cute NFTs on the XRP ledger. Can you give me $10 million? No, we don't need that. But tokenized T-bills, real estate. I just saw that they shared Credify co-founder interviewed on their platform as well. I interviewed one of the other founders of the Credify platform. That's in my interviews playlist. And so these are people that Ripple's working with, real business, real capitalists that are bringing tokenized assets, real world assets to the XRP ledger. And I just love to see it. Now, before the FUDsters hop on this one, I wanted to get in front of this one because there's already headlines being shared. Oh, Ripple partner chooses JP Morgan. And then there's FUD, pieces and hit pieces coming out. But then on the other side, there's some confusion because now folks are starting to say, oh, Ripple's now partnered up with JP Morgan. Let's cut through that noise. Let's cut through the BS, the hype, the FUD, and let's give you the truth. This is what just happened. Longtime Ripple partner Neum has begun using JP Morgan payments to better serve their customers with collections and global FX rails. This would seem to be an alternative to Ripple products or perhaps just additional rails for Neum's platforms. And I appreciate that Wrath added that because he sees what I see, which is folks that want to FUD this and say, oh, Ripple partners choosing JP Morgan. And then you got folks on the other end of the spectrum which want to overhype this and say, this confirms that Ripple's working with JP Morgan. Now, funny enough, I'm going to show you in the documentation next that actually Ripple is, got their payment networks available and open up to JP Morgan subsidiaries in China and in Hong Kong and the Philippines. That's right. Folks, take a look at this next one as I titled this episode here today. And just to finish my point on that, remember, There's a lot of folks that want to FUD XRP because it brings them views and brings them, attention. And then there's a lot of people that want to overhype and they make up narratives and make up stuff that's not true about XRP and Ripple. And we want to call that out as well, too. I want to shoot it to you guys straight. I am plenty enough hype about XRP. You guys know that. I wear it on my sleeve every single day. I don't need to make up fairy tales. I don't need to make up stories. Folks want to say that I clickbait. I try to back up every single one of my titles with direct, information that either I am going to speak on or that I agree with or believe in. And I'll tell you either way. I'll be straight up with you guys always. And what I'm going to be straight up with you guys here is that this is the documentation proving the Ripple partners do include banks, despite what the fudsters have tried to say about Ripple not working with banks not being interested in XRP. Now, do all of these bank partners include XRP payments? Not necessarily. Remember, Ripple Payments includes fiat payment rails as well. Just like with the Neon partnership, see, Neon wants to partner with Ripple, but then they also see an advantage with partnering with JP Morgan. Now, what's coming together here, and this was shared here by 604 XRP on X. I want to give a huge shout out to this Canadian friend up north. China and Hong Kong bank IDs were added to the docs here for Ripple. Previously, it was only the Philippines, and the bank list is huge, folks. You're not going to believe this, or maybe you will because, you see what's been happening. You got the ability to think critically and connect a few dots. Look at how long this list is, folks. This is directly from Ripple's website. For anybody who's still confused or trying to tell us that it ain't happening with the banks, well, here's 1, 2, 3. I'm losing count as I scroll down this list, and this is beneficiary banks in China. Agricultural Bank of China, Bank of Beijing, Bank of Communications, and we got a whole list. Scrolling on down, Bank of Shanghai, Bank of Wenzhou, Bank of Yingkou. You got the Rural Commercial Bank. How about that? Construction Bank, Development Bank, Everbright. I don't see Evergrande. That's good. Evergrowing. How about that? Fubon. Yep, we've seen them before. Huishuang. Okay, you guys get the point? Do you get the point? We're still scrolling, by the way. How about that? Okay, lost track of how many we had there in that list. Hong Kong, Standard Charter. Oh, wait. That's a familiar face. Wow. The Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. Okay, what about Citibank? What about, oh wait, we just talked about them. JP Morgan Chase. Okay, China Construction Bank. Bank of China, Hong Kong. Bank of China, Hong Kong too, I guess. See, there's multiple subsidiaries right here. DBS Bank, Bank of China. We have Shanghai Commercial Bank. Bank of China, a lot of Bank of Chinas, okay. Hong Kong Limited, okay. You see it. DBS, Citibank, Shanghai, Everbright. I mean, guys, it's the list just goes on and on. How about into the Philippines, right? That was just in Hong Kong. Now we're into the Philippines. ANZ Bank, Bangkok Bank, Bank of America. Oh, wait, I thought that Ripple wasn't working with Bank of America. I thought that Bank of America wasn't tapped in. Wait, you're telling me Bank of America's tapped into Ripple payments? Yep, they have been since 2018. They went nowhere. And the same Bank of America that wanted to use XRP for a competitive advantage after the lawsuit concluded. Good news for them, the lawsuit's concluding. Fire it up, flip the switch. Citibank, Deutsche Bank, hello, HSBC, tokenized gold. How about it? Partnered up with Medico acquired by Ripple. How about that Ripple HSBC partnership? Love to see it. We got a JP Morgan Chase Bank again in the Philippines. Yep. Connecting the rails, connecting the dots. The partnerships run deep. It does include banks, just a few, just a dozen. Standard Charter Bank again in the Philippines. Love to see it. Wealth Development Bank. Folks, they tried to tell us that there was no banks interested in partnering with Ripple and using XRP. Now, are all of these banks using XRP? Are all of these payment rails for XRP? No. The point, though, that I want to bring home and conclude this episode with is that when you give your clients a pleasurable experience for payments in fiat payment rails, it makes it easier to sell them on other payment rails, which include additional benefits like a neutral bridge currency, bringing interoperability to other blockchains. And this is what Ripple is doing, is they're setting themselves up to provide an experience for their clients that's not just XRP centered and XRP focused, but you need to be able to service your clientele across the fiat rails, across XRP when it's time to do XRP. Oh, you want to custody other digital assets like a Bitcoin? We can handle that for you as well. We got standard custody and trust. It's a trust company where we don't lend out against your deposits, limiting your counterparty risk. That's right. See, this is the unique advantage that Ripple and XRP find themselves in, establishing bank partnerships in the middle of a lawsuit. And now we have full clarity here in the United States when the rest of the space doesn't know what the heck's going on. They're trying to come up with stories about why their token has clarity, why the XRP precedent applies to their crypto project that did an ICO, where the founders are still dumping on them, and they're trying to say that the XRP Ripple ruling applies to them. I don't think that it applies to your ICO. I don't think that it applies to the ETH Foundation selling $100 million worth of tokens to fund their salaries. But that's for that project to work with the SEC on that issue. Good luck. God bless. I hope it works out, because you weren't here for us. You weren't here to support the XRP community when we got attacked. But now that the rest of the space is getting in trouble, everybody wants to jump on the Ripple XRP bandwagon and say that the facts for your crap token are the same for XRP. They're not. Good luck in court. Good luck with the SEC. And you better be praying that the Congress passes crypto regulation that gives you some sort of, onboarding process, a window of opportunity to clean up your act before you get in trouble. Meanwhile, in XRP ecosystem, full clarity, institutions showing up, bank partnerships confirmed. It's a great spot to be in. I'm going nowhere. I don't care. I got back test levels that we could go back to 45 cents for XRP. Sub 50 cents could come in. My correction before election prediction. You know what I'm going to be doing? Scooping it up. And I want to hear what you guys are going to be doing in the comments down below as we ride out this storm. On the other side of this thing, XRP ready to shine, ready to steal the show. And it has the rest of the space scared because we're the greatest threat to the Bitcoins, the Ethereums. We're also the greatest threat to the traditional financial system. I'm glad to see that they're getting on board with some partnerships with some familiar faces. I'm going to wrap up this session. If you appreciate what we do, you know what to do for me. Everything's at zachrector.com. And on the way out, make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. We're going to keep it coming for you. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.